was really scared to death. Some people even thought that Qiyamah has come or is about to reach. So in that state, after the prayer, when everybody was wondering what has happened, we heard a very calm, peaceful voice, that of Hazrat Hafiz Muhammad Ramzan Sahib. And he said, gentlemen, I know your state, in which your state of helplessness, but I can help. If anybody wants to be led to his house, I'll lead him. Now, a full train, a procession of people followed Hafiz Sahib. And he was told who was following him. So he took them to each one's house, knocked at the door and declared, Mr. So-and-so, enter your house. Mr. So-and-so, enter your house. And he did not commit a single mistake. He was so clever. So don't underestimate the qualities of the blind people. We have seen blind couples coping with the situation very well. So before making your religion, think of these things.
Was there a discussion going on there at that time?
Yes, yes. This is why I'm telling you. Please. Yes.
Only to supplement what Huzur has said just now, I'd cite the example of Maulana Abul Hashim. He was
East Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Yes, yes.
He was a very learned man. He rose to be a minister in the undivided Bengal government, and after that he was head of the Islamic Cultural Central in Dhaka, and he visited Rabwa at the invitation of your predecessor, Huzur.
Yes.
And he was the most highly respected person.
And I'll further supplement your observation by telling you that I held quite a long discussion with him. In fact, those who were appointed by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Salis to meet him and to eat with him during his stay, my name was also included. So we had some very interesting discussions, and he made a very intelligent remark, observation about Rabwa, which I was surprised that exactly in the same manner, the same observation was made by a professor of anthropology from the University of London, who was visiting Pakistan and studying various cultures. So that coincidence struck me very much, because it at least showed that both were of highly intelligent quality, of the same, almost the same station. When at the end of his stay, I casually asked him about his impression of Rabwa, he said, my impression is this, that it is not Pakistan. It is not this continent. It is an island. And when he went back, he wrote a very fine letter of appreciation. And whenever Ahmadis met him later on, he was so deeply impressed by the cultural values. While he was a blind man, yet he could see things, see through people. He was a very intelligent person, I agree with you.
After his return from Rabwa, in spite of opposition by all the non-Ahmadi ulama, he agreed to chair one of our meetings.
See.
And he threatened to resign all the offices.
If there is.
He was prevented from presiding over our.
Wonderful. Yes, yes, I know. A very courageous man and illuminated inside by Allah. How is he? Is he still alive? I hope it is.
He certainly was, sir, when I left Bangladesh about 12 years ago.
So any other question or azan? It's your choice. One question can be asked. Yes, please, Salim. You are officiating Chaudhry Muhammad Abdul Rashid very well. Yes,
sir,
please.
During prayers, we should concentrate on our prayers.
Of Of course.
But concentration can be created only if there is some figure or some, as I understood, that there must be something so as to concentrate.
Concentrate, you
Concentrate upon,
don't you ever concentrate upon ideas,
ideas are
Thoughts.
visualized in mind. Some
thoughts, calculations?
the calculations, yes.
Eh?
But the figures, I visualized figures, for example, numbers, how much.
No, but
Calculate.
thoughts and ideas and problems to be solved, all these things are points of concentration. So why must you have an idol before you to concentrate upon?
So when I concentrate on thoughts and ideas, I visualize something in my mind that
Of course, you
this should
visualize
happen like
characters,
this.
don't you?
Sorry?
Sometimes you visualize characters.
Yes.
This is why Surah Fatiha first portrays the character of God,
Yes.
for you to concentrate upon that character. The four fundamental attributes of God are given in the beginning just to help you concentrate on the personality of God, which becomes a fact rather than just a myth. Because no Rabbul Alameen can be a myth. No Rahman can be a myth. No Rahim can be a myth. No Malik can be a myth. All these four qualities speak of the greatest facts of life for which we care. In fact, they speak not only of the four attributes of God, but they speak also of the entire gamut of human activity. They revolve around all these four central forces of attraction. So there is so much given to you for concentration, and yet you are complaining that there is not much for you to concentrate. If you begin to concentrate on these things, you can spend your lifetime without exhausting this subject. This I assure you. And even if your children go on doing the same thing, they take up the cudgel from you, until the day of the resurrection, these four attributes of God could not be exhausted, because they cover everything. Everything that is conceivable has its source, its roots in these four attributes. So the azan now, please.